Grisly scenes still emerging from that missile attack at the train station. One of several cities now under siege by Russian troops as they shift their focus to the eastern part of the country. Want to bring in NBC's Richard Louie, who is at the big board for us once again. As always, Richard, it is fantastic to have you to walk us through this stuff. Incredibly important information here. So talking about, of course, those grisly scenes that we were seeing at the train station. Unbelievable attack there at the train station. Obviously, it seems as if Putin's army has shifted its focus to targeting civilians and, of course, capturing the eastern part of the country. So walk us through, of course, what you're seeing in some of that.
Yeah, Yasmin, and in force, certainly, when we look at Kramatorsk, and that just happening within the last 24 hours. That area right here, what we understand is that 4,000 people were in and around that train station, according to a Ukraine official. That was on Friday that we saw that happen. They were trying to follow the warnings that were saying, get out of the east, get out of this part of the country. And then a missile hit that station. And at least 98 people were injured, 50 killed. But again, 4,000 could have been much, much worse. Now, the Ukraine president said the missile, it was probably what's called a Tochka-U short-range ballistic missile that hit that area. It has a range of about 40 miles. That is going to be about this if I were to draw a circle around Kramatorsk, which means most likely we're seeing missiles potentially coming from this red area. The dominance there in the east is why that's so important as they try to seal off that area. Ukraine says it was Russia who launched the missile. Ukraine said it was Russia that launched the missile, and then Russia says it was actually Ukraine who did that. Russia's strategy right now, as you can probably tell, we've been talking about, is to try to choke off the east and southern Ukraine parts of the country. I'll zoom in a little bit here right now. The two key tactics is shelling and the occupation of small villages, as the pictures have been showing us, but it's gone further, and you were just discussing that. Russian forces killing hundreds of civilians as they went about their day, for instance, as we were reporting last week, in Bucha and Borodyanka. Now, today, the governor of Luhansk urged civilians to flee immediately. The concern is mass face-to-face killings like in Bucha. Will that be happening as well in Luhansk? That's their concern. That's why they want evacuation, though it is still difficult given the ceaseless Russian shelling that has been happening there in the east and the south. Now, the Washington Post reports as Russian troops withdraw from Kyiv, they're mowing down these towns, killing and terrorizing civilians simply for the fact of where they live, as the Post puts it. You know, last week, just to give us that context, you know, this was all not blue, right? Remember the red? We had little dots of blue. That's a big change in the last week. And as we were talking about, you and I were saying, the movements from this area in the north has been coming here to the east and to the south, as they try, in the end here, to try to cut off this southern and eastern area, so essentially making it all red in this space here. And Yasmin will be getting an update in the next several hours of where all the troops are in terms of red and blue. And if there's anything of significance, we'll get it straight to you.
Thank you, Richard. We appreciate it.